Hello and welcome to Pop Snitch Podcast. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Brandon.
And we are here to talk about pop culture news and obviously recap the last two episodes of Love Island, which are episodes 21 and 22 of Love Island USA. How are you, Brandini?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little troubled by some things that have started happening this week on your TikTok and Instagram accounts, though.
It's interesting. I started posting on my TikTok, which I had always just had it as a way to browse other people's videos. I rarely posted. I think the last time I posted was like November. And so I decided to get on there and talk a little bit. And of course, my inbox is now full of weird old men sending me hilarious messages. I'm pretty sure most of them are bots. Like none of the messages make sense. But I was telling Brandon, I had some who they're like, do you want a sugar daddy? And I'm like, well, of course, but I never, ever want to see you or talk to you in public. And Brandon's like, I don't think that's the way it works. And then I began.
There's usually extra services required for sugar daddy treatment.
Sure, and disinterested in that. Would love the money, though. And then I got served a bunch of content after that about pay pigs, where basically they put like money in your account and then you roast them. And I'm like, now that, pay pigs, hit me up. I would be good at.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to pimp my wife out as a pay pig. No, you're not the pay pig in this situation, correct? Oh, no. They are the pay pig.
Yeah, they're little piggies that get that pay to be openly mocked. Like that's the whole point. It's like a humiliation ritual of some sort.
Well, let me tell you, I'm not familiar with that world, but if it means that we can be rich and barely have to work, that might be quite sanctionable.
Oh my God, I would have so much fun being mean to them. Are you kidding? It's like my dream. I was meant for that.
Yep.
But it was jarring. You were very confused when I said the word pay pig. You're like, no, that's not how it works.
Whoa. What is a pay pig? Well, see, I had never heard the term before, and so I really was enlightened.
Well, I think TikTok knew, like, she would be good at this. She would be great at telling these old freaks that they're disgusting and she hates them and she deserves to take all their money, which is true.
We like that. We like that for you.
The other thing that happened is that you got mad at me while we were watching Love Island because you were bemoaning the fact that like thick chains are back in, like the mainstream.
Well, first of all, I was just saying that I don't understand this move for like adult men past 30 to be wearing a chain. And like I said, I'm not a fashionista or a fashion icon of any kind, but I just don't see how the chain is working for anyone. I mean, Nic, for instance, on Love Island, was dressed in like this blue jean acid wash jacket that's
I loved it.
4 sizes too big balloon pajama pants with like a cargo short, pockets
cargo
on
pockets,
them, with a chain on them, and
I
then
loved it.
and then a chain, and I'm like, and then I said like, I just don't know how I feel about that, and you're like, no, that's style, and then I was like, well, so I can just start rocking a chain, and you're like, no, absolutely not. And why?
No.
I want to know why. Why can if that's fashionable, it's in fashion. Why can I not wear a chain?
Okay, Nic is a 24-year-old model. Okay, so that's why.
Wow. Okay. All right.
I also think chains work best, particularly on white men. If you have like curly hair that can be like kind of messy, and you can wear like the shirts and stuff he wears that are like a little longer, not exactly like tall tee, but like a longer sleeve on you, I think that would just look crazy.
I mean, why do you not want me in a tall tee with the hem all the way down to here? Why do you think that would be a bad look on me?
You know what? If you want to do it, you can absolutely do it. You asked me if I thought you should wear a chain, and I said you can't pull that off right now.
Well,
and
that's
then you got mad.
I just want to know why. What would I have to do to be able to pull it off?
I don't know. It just doesn't fit your ethos.
You're literally getting the ick just thinking about it. So I just don't understand why Nic is so hot in the chain and the ballooned pajama pants, but I can't pull it off.
He's got like the aura for it. I feel like you would be so in your head being like, is this chain okay? Does this chain look right? Like it's not the right vibe, you know?
This segment has been brought to you by Jackson Chains. We're looking for a sponsorship.
Well, yeah. I feel like I'm like pay pigging you right now, and I apologize for that.
Okay, well, there we go.
I'm not trying to. Have you seen this trend? Speaking of like weird internet trends, have you seen the trend on TikTok of like princess treatment?
Excuse me?
Okay, clearly not. So essentially, it kind of like follows along the lines of trad wives, how they're like repackaging this idea that women are going to be happier if a man like 100% takes care of them. And that's like the princess treatment. Like, oh, he pays for this, he pays for that. And I'm like, is no one watching Diddy's trial? Like, do these girlies, like, what's happening?
Because all manner of evil happens when men are princessing you.
Yeah, literally. It's like a control tactic. And what women don't see is, so I was listening to all of this like coverage of the Diddy trial, and Cassie and another woman who is remaining anonymous was talking about how they would like engage in the freak offs and stuff because they knew if they didn't, he would stop paying for their homes. Like they were in so deep that they couldn't figure out how to disentangle themselves. Like that's the kind of thing that happens when you let a man pay for every single thing. I do think if I were dating, I would expect men to pay for dates, but you're not paying my rent. And the only reason I say that, I was listening to Scott Galloway talk about this, and this exactly sums up what I think, which is...
I was about to say the same thing, and I was wondering if you were going to agree with this, because when I saw this, I thought of you immediately.
Well, it's true. Like, men gain more out of relationships than women do. Like, that is absolutely, like, statistically proven that men get more from them. So, yeah, if you're going to date me, you need to pay, okay? So I do think men should pay for dates. You're going to get more out of this emotional relationship than I am. Yeah.
You think all dates men pay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I'm not asking you to like pay for me on a vacation or pay my rent or anything like that. But like, you want to take me out? All right, bitch, get out your credit card.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this question. You're out there dating. You've been dating this guy for like a year. Are we to the point where we're splitting things?
Yeah.
Or is this during the courting phase of a relationship?
Yes, let me clarify. I think that when, like, before you are official, prior to being exclusive, we are boyfriend and girlfriend, during that phase where you're testing it out, the man needs to pay for the dates. And then I think once you decide that you're official and you've been dating for a while, of course, like go 50-50, figure out what works for you. If the girl makes way more money, then she can pay for some stuff. If the guy makes way more money, you can kind of like do percentages on who should be paying what. I think that makes a lot of sense, but I don't know. I think in the beginning, if he's not going to pay for meals while we're figuring out if we even like each other.
No, I don't disagree with that. And I would also like to talk further at some point about how do you even go about having that conversation after you have, like, you've committed to each other, now you're in this relationship, and maybe like you don't even have the finances to be able to just pay for everything continually, and like how do you bring that up?
God forbid a man just speak his mind.
No, I'm just saying like is that gonna look like, I guess this is the, not hypochondriac is not the way, but maybe just over anxious neuroticism of myself. I'd be thinking like, is she thinking that I'm wanting to commit just so I can be like, I don't need to be paying for things anymore?
Oh, okay. Well, I think what you can say is like, I want to be exclusive. I only want to go out with you. And then I think you have a separate conversation. Most women,
so
no,
I will no longer be paying
also,
for all of our meals.
You're going to need to chip in. No, and I think a lot of women are really good about identifying the appropriate time to begin doing that. And some girls don't want guys to pay for stuff because they don't want to feel like they owe them anything.
No, of course.
And up front, they'll be like, you know what, let's just go 50-50. But I think the guy should every single time in the beginning at least offer and try to pay for it. But a girl is going to know, like, we know if they can't afford it.
Well, I've been married for so long. I feel like if I was back out there dating, I'd be like, so when are we combining our accounts? That seems to make sense.
Oh my God. I know.
It's like, how do you even navigate that world?
I don't know. Like, you and I we've been together for 20 years.
Yeah, our finances have been integrated since
For 16 years?
Yeah, for 16 years. So it's like, it's really hard to think about life outside of that. But when I hear people talk about it now, I'm like, ooh, that is a fraught. There are many reasons to keep it separate and many reasons to combine it. So it's
a lot of people have separate accounts and then one shared account where they put in the percentage of their money that they need to do for like rent or mortgage or whatever like dual payments they have. And I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, me too.
The only thing I will say is if you are married, like that makes a lot of sense too, even if you're dating, if you move in together, to have like a shared fund where things automatically come out of. But when you get married, the only thing that I know from friends who've had experience with this about having separate accounts is that even if you're not on that account, like if they have a separate credit card or something and they spend a bunch of money and have a bunch of debt, you're still on the hook for that. And you don't know what they have. If you don't have visibility
100%.
into like what's in their account and they don't have visibility into what's in yours, that can cause a lot of tension.
No, I agree.
But nice. That would be the only thing I would say about that. But yeah, you and I just got married like in the dark ages, so all of our stuff is combined.
That's true.
It is what it is. Oh, speaking of like trad princess weirdos
please
in evangelical world, Madi Prew hitting page 6 with her porn and masturbation issue was ew.
I mean,
why are we talking about this?
Why are we talking about this on our Christian podcast? And
it's like they have nothing interesting to talk about. And she's like, 10 years ago, I used to look at porn and touch myself.
What, when she was 21 years old?
Well, the craziest thing, so I read the article and it was basically like she blames a friend who like showed her a movie. This is all she says about it is, when I was 13, I was with a friend and they showed me a movie, and in the movie, everyone was naked. And I'm like, was it a movie? Or like, were they showing you porn? Like, what are we talking about?
Well, she also said, oh, sorry, go ahead. Well, she also said that it was like a dating show where they were all naked. And I'm like, that show doesn't exist.
What show is that? Yeah. And then I'm like, were they all naked or just like naked to your weird brain? Like they're in bathing suits. Like I can't disentangle what she's trying to say.
Scantily clad and naked are two very different things.
Yes. Oh my God. Well, and then she like talked about that and just kept saying, one thing about evangelicals that they love, because she said this too, she was like, the only way that I broke free, they're always prisoners of their own situation that they have to break free from. And she's like, I had to break free of doing something that is like a normal thing for someone who's a teenager, for anyone. And I had to break free. And the way I did it was I had to tell everybody at church. Like
oh yeah. You can't break free from the demon of sexual sin until you tell everyone about it.
And your accountability, you got to tell the whole group.
You got to tell everyone.
Talk about it.
Yes, and they need to be able to, of course, gossip about it without you there, and bring it up to everyone, and everyone. They're going to take it to a
prayer group,
and I think that that's really helpful for your sexual development as a human being. I think it's probably a really good choice. I think a therapist would give you that advice immediately.
I'm just like, and she kept saying like, and I just brought this with me into all my relationships, and I'm like, honey. What?
And we wonder why we had 10 years of horrid relationships and
I don't think this one is great.
Well, let's not get into that.
He's dead behind the eyes.
Well, this is the first episode she's been able to do by her own because he can't get off of there.
Yeah. The fact that they named their child Hosanna is so funny to me. And he was talking about their birth story, and he was like, and this is what I was saying while she was giving birth, like, Hosanna, God is good, like, blah, blah. And I'm like, if you start yelling, God is good, Hosanna, while I am pushing out a human being, I will cut you right there in that room.
It's a bit of an ick. Let's just say that.
A bit? Everything he does. His hair, I don't like any of it. No part of it. The way he talks is so weird. Like that particular type of like Christian influencer who's like, and then God said, you don't have to do that. And I thought, I can break free. Well, I'm like, oh my God, what? I don't like the cadence. It feels gross.
There's that guy, I think his name's something Kennedy. And he's like a comedian, and he's like, I think he is a Christian, but he like makes fun of Christian influencers and stuff. And he was saying that like, that's how you always know it's a Christian podcast, even if they're not saying it on the surface. If someone's like, and then I did this, and I did this, and everyone in the background's just like, Yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
Wow.
Wow. That's one of them, not amen. It's all like just strange responses, ums and ahs and
they're
wows.
always weirdly sexual. Like, that's the craziest part to me, is they'll be talking about how they like overcame. And also, Christians are addicted to things. They could have gone to a strip club once. They could have had
they are looking for
sip
addiction.
of alcohol.
They're looking
like,
for
addicted.
addiction in anything.
Yeah,
like,
I'm addicted to this.
I'm addicted to TV. I'm addicted to this.
Right.
I'm addicted to that.
You can be addicted to anything.
Yeah, anything.
And they'll be like, and I had to break free of my addiction. And it'll be to something that other people would like giggle at. And then people are like, yeah. And I'm ew.
And I'll also say, it's just like, this is a very specific kind of faith person. This is not every person of faith. This is a very specific brand of church that we both swam in for a very long time.
Well, and if you can't laugh at it, then like, go away. Don't listen. Turn it off. I don't care. Don't come at me sideways. Nah, I'm Christian. We don't care. We were in that world, or I was in that world for ages.
All right, friends. See you in the comments.
Nah.
Can't wait to talk about your feelings on this one.
I can't abide it. It's crazy. Well, this was also on like selling Salt Lake City, like this whole thing where I'm just like, it's in every culture that's really restrictive, is that they are a prisoner, they have these chains of addiction, and like people have actual addictions. Like, so the fact that these people, I don't know, they are constantly conflating doing something once or twice with being addicted to it, and it really cracks me up. But yeah, you're right. The responses in these podcasts, the oohs and ahs, where you're like, "Ugh, that feels odd." The way that that's happening.
Wow.
Go on. Tell me more.
I think you need to start that ASMR OnlyFans. Well, let's get into some reality.
Wait, no, I have to talk to you. Also, we have a listener question.
Okay.
Do you remember the show What Not to Wear?
Yes, I do.
Did you watch it, like, actually religiously?
No, I've never watched it.
Okay. So one of our friends, listener of the pod, shout out to Ariana, asked, like, should we bring back What Not to Wear? So let me set up how this works. It's actually kind of similar to Queer Eye, but it was Stacy and Clinton were the names of the two hosts of it. And essentially, someone would submit you. So let's go back to the conversation about the chain. Okay. And let's say I thought you were a really bad dresser, and you were trying to wear a chain with like your khaki shorts and black shirt. And I was like, no. So I would submit you to the show, and they would literally secretly follow you around and get like B-roll of your outfits.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And then there would be like some sort of big event, and they would like bombard them at this event and be like, Rachel submitted you for what not to wear. And so all these people know, like, someone thinks you're
so bad.
I know. And
this is the difference. Like, you talk about me being on a show, or me like wearing a chain I shouldn't be wearing, or something like that. Like, if someone came up to me and said, like, your clothes are horrible, someone submitted you, we have been following you around and filming what you've been wearing, and it is so hideous that we have to take you over, destroy your closet, I would cry. And I think that people probably, like, I mean, I'm wearing, black T-shirts all the time. I'm sure some people think of this about me, but I mean, it would hurt my feelings so bad. I would cry on TV.
It made you mad when I said you shouldn't wear a chain, after you had just said, why are people wearing chains? And I said, it's cool for them, but it's good that you don't want to. And then you were offended.
I mean, I hate to say it, but there was a little thing inside of my brain that was like, she's probably going to say, like, oh, maybe you should get a chain.
If you want to get a chain, baby, get a chain. And then I'll
I don't want a chain.
What not to wear.
What am I going to, I mean, I just imagine this and imagine a chain on it.
Maybe I need to see you in it. And you're going to need different pants. You're still holding on to the skinny jean. And
first of all, I'm not wearing skinny jeans. I've never been able to wear skinny jeans for obvious reasons. But no, I'm not I'll tell you what, I don't look great in a parachute either. It's just a big circle walking around.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so people would be bombarded by that. They would get like a $5,000 allowance to go buy clothes. But before that, these two people would give them, and they had to go buy in New York City. So this is someone in like Oklahoma coming out to New York City and being like, why is this shirt $300? But before that, they would give them basically like a style lesson. Like, this is currently in style. This is the type of fit that is best for your body. This is how you style this type of dress. This is the type of heel or shoe you need for it, etc. And then they would let them go shopping, and they would be secretly filming them shopping. And then as people are like picking ugly things or things that they shouldn't be picking, they would run into the store and be like, what are you doing? You didn't pay attention. And like make them start over and try the process again. They also got like hair and makeup, like a makeover situation.
Why are they picking?
Well, they're trying to teach them how to do it. Like, think Queer Eye and the way that they like show them how to do it. And then they're like, maybe you go pick some pieces or put together something.
Well, the last thing that Tan France is ever going to allow you to do is to go and pick something. Now, I don't always agree with the choices that he makes.
Truly. Well, and that was the case with this. Like, sometimes they would really miss.
It's like that Trading Spaces woman who used to glue like grass to the wall and stuff, and people would come in and be like,
That episode is etched in my brain.
They need to bring that back. And what was so unbelievable about that was that like these people trusted you to know their style.
They were neighbors.
And then they would come over and they had painted like their living room ceiling red.
Yeah. Or the worst ones that I saw were definitely the moss wall. And then also this one family had like nice hardwood floors, and someone just painted a black line around the edges. And they were like, perfect. There was that old man who like loved putting like birds and stuff on everything.
He loved a mural in the living room. And he's like, Noah's Ark right here with the giraffe.
Anything that looked like a mall. He went to the mall store and put it there.
Literally.
It was so, but I loved it. I was also obsessed with Paige from Trading Spaces, or I don't remember if she was the first or the second host, but I thought she had like the spiky hair, and then I did my hair like that. But only elder millennials will know the chokehold that TLC had on us. That was like, other than like MTV, that was the other type of reality TV that we were introduced early on. And seeing these people, like their real reactions to it, like friendships were torn on that show.
You know, you saying that about Paige reminds me of when you had your emo pixie cut there for a minute, which I really liked. Not so much.
We need to put a picture of it in here somewhere.
That was very the 2007 of it all.
Oh boy, yeah, it was. The haircuts that I got from 2004 to about 2009 were atrocious. I mean, every single one was bad. Like, I don't know what was happening inside my brain, but it was the ugliest I've ever looked in my life.
You were in some experimentation hair-wise at the time. And also the guy who was cutting our hair was very much into experimentation.
He was also experimenting.
He left a dog ear behind my ear one time, like a piece of hair that was just like hanging down and
that was before our wedding.
Yeah, thick in the back, and I was like, what happened here? And he's like, that's my experimental piece.
And you were like, I don't like it. Get out of here.
Let's cut it off. And then one time he cut a reverse bob on me right before my friend Chris's wedding. And when I tell you, it was cut up in the back and then literally jutted down to,
like a Karen.
It was a reverse bob, and he let me leave there like that.
I had a bob at the same time, and I'm not kidding. We had the same haircut.
I was in a band, and I was like, no. I got home, and I just thought like maybe it's because he styled it, maybe. And I got home,
like,
and I
surely I don't have a bob.
I literally got out scissors and cut that thing myself before this wedding. I was just like, I mean, talk about those videos on TikTok where girls like try to cut their bangs and they like pop up in their micro bangs. I mean, I cut my own hair for this wedding.
It looks better than when
it did look better, but it was a mess.
It was bad. What is the movie where he has that like dark hair? Not No Country for Old Men. It's the other one. It's like a meme.
Oh, it is No Country for Old Men, and it's the Javier Bardem character, and he's like, it's like a mop on his head, but that would be like that mop, but the back of it's cut up like the woman from 8 Kids and Counting.
It's the Karen
Kate.
cut. Yes,
the Kate cut.
The Kate cut, the Karen cut. That is how and it was like spiky too. Like it was crazy.
I mean, he literally put that mother's cut right on top of my head.
He came for your neck on that one. That was awful. It's like when my brother had not gotten his hair license yet, and he's like, "Can I practice on your hair?" And he just cut a hole in the middle of the back, which is why I had to get a pixie cut.
Well, also, your brother at the same time was like, "Oh, I want to practice my dyeing skills," and this was about a month before.
Again, he had not gone to hair school. He's an excellent stylist now. He does my hair.
It was a couple of months before our graduation. And he cut my hair, and the cut was actually not that bad.
The cut looked great, yeah.
But he just took the top, like divided it into 3 sections, side, top, other side, and just dyed the top purple. Not like a purple like these lights behind me. Purple like just a dark... It was just absolutely wild.
Your sound is different.
Why?
I don't know. You cut out for a minute.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay. It was what? I actually remember it being like more orangey and red.
I don't remember. I mean,
we need to find the photo.
Dark purple was what I remember.
It absolutely was not dark purple. That is fan fiction in your brain.
Okay. All right. Well,
we'll get pictures and post it because I think I still have some. The other thing I wanted to say before we get into the Love Island of it all is I cannot believe you are watching and just like that.
Yeah, I'm still committed to the Sex and the City. What would it, the universe? I want to know what happens in the universe to these characters. I'm sorry.
This is not the universe. They are rewriting history here. I don't want to watch Carrie and Aiden have phone sex. That was like the most jarring thing I've ever seen on TV. I don't want to watch Miranda try to pick someone up in the most awkward fashion. I can't take it. Not having Samantha on the show.
It's a
for
disaster.
Comic relief.
I will say that.
I mean, she was just so important to the ethos of the show, and not having her, I mean, I don't like it at all. I can't believe how bad it is. The writing is so bad, and I will love Sex and the City until the day I die. Like, I absolutely love the old show. I love the movies. Do you remember when I dressed up to see that Sex and the City movie in California? And I had just moved there and just made friends with people. And they're like, dress up as your favorite character. And I had this.
You bought a Halloween Elvira black wig to be Charlotte. And you came in all honesty.
Like the most conservative, cute dress. And I went in and everyone just looked hot. No one was dressed like anyone.
No. It was really just like that like the thing in Mean Girls where they say everybody just puts like cat ears on and lingerie.
Yes.
Like that's basically what this was. And you truly dressed like Charlotte at like her first Jewish communion or whatever that is that she goes to.
I looked crazy. And I remember the wig started itching in the middle of the thing. And we had brought like wine into the theater and we're drinking it out of Solo cups.
I mean, it was a different era. You felt comfortable doing that, which I can't even imagine a world where I would bring a bottle of wine into a movie
Well,
theater
we dropped it and it rolled all the way to the front, like that scene in The Office.
Mm-hmm.
That happened. And
it makes me feel like somebody, that was before that actually happened on The Office. And so it's actually funny to me. I think somebody was there that night.
They're like, who's this freak in this wig dropping a bottle of wine?
And that's before, I think there was something about back in those days where probably I would have been I obviously had seen the entire show by that point, and I had also like watched I think that was the second movie you went to, and so I'd seen everything.
You were upset you weren't invited,
and I was really upset that I wasn't invited. But I think you still were like, maybe they wouldn't be as accepting of Brandon's love for Sex and the City as I am.
Yeah, someone is ringing our doorbell or our thing so loud.
Do you want to go? Do you want to go check it real quick?
No, it's fine. They'll just ring all of them and someone else will bring them in. It's
okay.
Whatever. Okay, well, do you have anything else you want to talk about, or do you want to get into the Love Island of it all?
Let's jump into Love Island.
Okay. The last 2 episodes, the whiplash that I feel is unreal. I had a feeling like there was all this hype about Nic and Olandria, right? Nic and Olandria, talking about how like they secretly liked each other. And I felt confused by
I had never seen any of that content also.
No. And I will say, like, because I posted about it on TikTok and people were like, oh, you're blind, you should have seen it. He did pull her and like really make out with her and do things in challenges that were like, oh. So I think he was very attracted to her, but I don't think we'll get into it, but I think it hadn't even crossed her mind. And
obviously,
it was like a secret
from her responses to everything that happens, basically, I mean, everybody watched it, but essentially, right. They go and they have dinner together right after they've both been voted off, and they give them the option to either leave or pair together and go back to the villa paired up.
Well, and here's the thing. The producers are too in the comments.
Oh, it's awful. They need to stop.
It made me so mad because that episode, I was like, am I dumb? Like, do I not understand? Because I had clocked everything else. Like, I clocked what Taylor was going to do last night. I had seen all these warning signs with Huda and Jeremiah. We all did, right? But I had never understood. And I see how people are like, Nic was into her. Nic is into anything with a heartbeat. I think he loves to flirt. He loves to make out. Like, I think that's just part of who he is. But the fact that they sat down there and they were at that table felt very The Bachelor, very produced. The fact that they made it where they could come back to the villa, but only together. It was just kind of silly. I will say, at the end, when he kissed her, that was all through the episode. I was like, no, this is bullshit. Like, this is just a producer plant, blah, blah, blah. But then when they kissed at the end and she was like biting his lip and stuff, and he was like needing to lay face down afterwards, I was like, okay, maybe I missed it. Maybe it was Nic and Olandria. And then we'll get to what happened in the next episode. But I wanted to get your perspective. Like, what did you notice the most about the kissing challenge, or like the face-off in that episode between Casa Amor and the villa?
I mean, I think the biggest thing that obviously, is that Sierra went hard. And
that's my girl.
I also had to remember that she went hard in all of the challenges with all the guys. Yep. But like, she confused me with how hard she went, because I was like, oh, does she really like this guy like that? And then, how they did the 180 on us, where then they flipped to her talking to him afterwards. And she's basically like, I know that, I went hard, and I know that like, you're a really nice guy, but like, I'm not into it. Like, I'm riding for Nic. Like that shocked me.
Really?
Like, yeah. Like, I think because the whole time, honestly, like, even though she was upset about Nic when they first got to Casa and all of that, like, she has been very clear that she's still open to like finding someone, and even coming in. But I think
that's just because that's what he wanted. I really think she would have locked in with him.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but I really still was surprised that she wouldn't even kiss that guy after the. I mean, that was big in my mind.
I felt like Huda really grossed me out during that challenge. She was so hot during the twerk challenge that I was surprised. But I keep saying this. Why is everyone starting a kiss with their tongue out?
We're doing too much. Like, we are doing too much.
It looks like she's licking an ice cream cone.
Well, and she lost the challenge because I think they were basing it more on, does this look like a connection? Like, is the sexiness, is the kissing coming from a place of connection? Am I convinced?
Right.
And I mean, obviously I wasn't, even though she went hard in all of her challenges. I don't think that whoever's judging that, producers or whatever, feel the same.
Can you explain to me at the end why Ace and the guys wanted to make like a cheerleader pyramid?
I think it was just because they saw that they were being outdone, and they thought maybe it's because we're not going like over the top with like the theatrics of it. And so they just like went absolutely insane.
Like, Jaden said something like someone had the idea to be lions and boulders. What does that mean?
Hopefully on After Sun, they'll go back and talk about what the
genuinely perplexed. Like, Ace just wanted to be like at the top of the pyramid or something.
He's like, put me on the pyramid.
Well, I'll tell you this. I have a theory that producers hate Ace because of what they've had to do based on him trying to self-produce. And I have like 3 or 4 reasons why. First, all of the editing around, like, you could tell as a viewer that Shelley was not into Chris, that she was like very much still going to be with Ace, but they're trying to like keep your attention throughout. And every single comment about Chris from the other girls was like, but he's actually fine. He's really hot. Do you see? He's a big boy. He's tall, and like kept talking about the height of it all. The fact that Nic went like this when Olandria was like, yeah, well, Shelley got with a guy and he's 6'7". And Nic was like, ah! And in Casa Amor, when they said like, let the tallest guy kiss whoever your partner is, in Casa Amor 1, Ace's face was like, because he knew how tall the other guy was. And then right after that, they do one where he's going to have to kiss. And he throws himself down on the ground and his legs are so short, they look like a rag doll under a couch. It freaked me out. I did not like those. Do you know those old dolls that like were just like legs and you would like put them up against something as a joke? That's what it looked like to me.
That's very niche. I mean, who bought those?
I don't know. I just remember seeing them.
Weren't they supposed to be like the Wicked Witch of the East or something?
Yeah,
or Wicked Witch of
like
the West
that type
or something?
Of thing. Just those weird floppy legs. The way he lay down, I was like, ew. I
hope
Shelley looks at this.
I think you put them outside, like in your garden, like up against the house, not underneath the couch.
I don't know why.
You know those fake legs that people buy and put just fling under the couch?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, maybe like for Halloween. But I can just tell that they are making so many comments about his height. And like, it's funny to me, but it's also like, wow, they really don't like him.
Wow.
I also think the photo booth is like another character in this. They are cracking me up. Olandria taking those pictures, like hot pictures of herself for Taylor. And putting like a kiss on the back. I was like, you are doing too much. You are so hot. And it's for Taylor. Like, okay, so that was the episode before. The Casa Amor people go back to the villa. And I was trying to figure out when she said everyone's coming back to the villa. I was like, how many couples are we going to have? But it made more sense when they did the recoupling. Were you surprised by anything? Did anything catch you off guard?
I mean, Taylor not choosing Olandria.
You keep calling her Olandria.
Olandria.
Yeah.
That's just, it's perplexing to me. I mean, I think she's the most interesting. I think that she is smart. I think that she is like obviously like a person who's not afraid of commitment. I think it's, someone who's played this whole thing like very smart for herself and for her partner, has been respectful to him throughout this whole thing. And that after the connection that they had obviously made, at least from what it seemed like to me, to be thrown away for anyone.
Yeah.
After just 3 days.
Yeah.
Really shocked me.
Yeah.
Especially when he was contemplating for one of those days whether he was even going to pick Clark or not. I mean, one of those whole days, he was contemplating whether he wanted to be with Coco.
He picked Coco initially and then picked Clark after that. I think I had called, I told you as we were watching that he was not going to choose Olandria. I could tell he was too in his head. When he was saying he felt sick, because he knew everyone was going to be mad at him, because Olandria is like the mom of the villa. Everyone goes to her for emotional support. She has such capacity and emotional maturity, and you're dealing with Huda's going to cry and scream, and honestly, so is Amaya, every 5 seconds. Like, neither of them have any impulse control with that.
Well, here's my take on that.
Okay.
Olandria needs to take this opportunity now to stop doing all of that.
Yeah.
Like, she does not need to be the emotional support for these other women. They need to figure out life for themselves, and she needs to go and start, if she really
Focus
wants
on
love.
herself.
If she wants love from this particular situation, which if that's really what she wants, that's what I want for her. I don't think any of these men are actually worthy of her, but she needs to stop worrying about everybody else, and she needs to stop worrying about making Taylor comfortable. And
I think she's going to stop that now.
Yeah,
I think this was embarrassing enough for her that she's not going to keep going down that road. It just makes me sad that she sent Jalen home.
Yeah,
and I'm
that
like,
really is
Taylor
sad.
should have been upfront with her, because I do think that Jalen would have been a really good match for her.
No, I think so too. And I think that the fact that he didn't just, if he was going to do this, it seems like he knew enough at that point that connection was not going to ever be what it needed to be for him.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting because Huda ended up matching with Shelly's guy, Chris. So now Ace and Shelly are together, but Chris is also still in the villa. And I think Huda did that for Shelly on some level. Obviously, that was a way for Chris to stay in the game and for Huda, but it's also going to create a little bit of drama. Constantly seeing the juxtaposition of Chris and Ace, it's just going to be fun for viewers.
Well, Chris is a good-looking guy. I don't think we've really gotten to know him well enough yet. Like,
I agree.
Like, if there may be depth to him that we don't quite know about yet, and I'll be interested to see like how. I mean, because he's seen Huda, he's seen the whole thing, and he wanted to. He said he was willing to, experiment with their relationship even when he was with Shelly.
I don't think he likes Huda. I think he recognized that Shelly was going to pick Ace. And
no, that's what I mean, though.
Maybe
that's it.
He knows bombshells are coming in. Olandria
really?
is free now.
There are more See, the thing is, like, I watched this show tacitly last year, but I wasn't really paying attention to like the stream and structure of it.
Yeah. So I think, and again, Olandria is free. Like, I'm curious to see if he's even going to try to do that, because he had never met her. Or no, he had.
No, he did.
But
he did.
Briefly. And so I'm curious to see if there's any of that. But Olandria loves a country boy, so I don't know if that's going to like be a fit for her. Yeah, so I'm just so disappointed in Iris that she wanted to be with TJ, because I just find him insufferable.
Oh, he's a mess.
There's nothing interesting about him. It was so weird when Vanna came up to him and was like, hey, in my last relationship, I actually felt really secure and supported. And with you, I literally can't tell like what you think of me. I don't know if it's because you have RBF or what. And instead of saying, this is how I feel about you, he's like, I can't fix my face. That's not what she's saying, TJ. That's not what she's saying.
He can't he's not listening to anything. He's
listening to himself.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to talk about his dad again. I can't stand him. And I think Jaden and Austin make a lot of sense together. I saw her Instagram bio like come live once she got into Casa Amor. And her background, I would assume that she and Austin agree on things that you and I would disagree with them about. But they make sense together. They're both very goofy together. Hearing Austin talk and her, they both talk so slowly. Like, what is that? It's like, and then I thought, and I'm like, pick it up. Speed it up. But they're together. Again, sad about Iris, because I'm like, Iris, the girls seem to really like her, and I'm just confused about what she's seeing in him. I'm so happy for Amaya Papaya. I really hope that Zach actually likes her and isn't just playing this to like stay on, which is still definitely a possibility. But it made me so happy to see her standing up there with two men who had her on their cards. She deserved that.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. I think that what I'm the most interested to see about this next episode is, will Nic and Olandria talk about their relationship and what happened between them,
Sierra.
and how will that affect Sierra, and will that affect the relationship between Nic and
Sierra or Taylor?
No, well, Nic and Sierra, and Nic and Taylor.
Taylor's not going to care. The only person who's going to be deeply hurt by that is Sierra. And I'm curious to see, but Elian's still there. So we've got a lot of potential love triangles. Sierra is clearly very into Nic, but I am curious if, again, her stomach was hurting during Casa Amor and she just knew stuff wasn't right. And I am curious to see how she handles that news, because I do think he's going to tell her pretty expeditiously. He's good about that, to his credit. That man has taken me on an emotional roller coaster, and I'm so
you
mad
hate
at him.
him, you love him.
I know.
Like you keep your entire emotions about him just are changing on a dime.
He's such an interesting person to watch on TV. I will give him that. I think he was made for reality TV. The way brands are using that, I'm a mommy, a mom,
Mamacita,
a mommy. Like, it's so funny. And I'm like, man, that was like comedy gold. Like, he gives and he gives and he gives. He is funny and silly, and he's handsome. Like, it's just, he's great on that show. He was such a fit for Love Island. He's exactly what it's supposed to be. I did hear someone say that Taylor likes Clark because Clark looks like Taylor. And then I looked at them side by side and I was like, wow, that's really interesting.
That mirroring.
Yeah, big time. So I don't know. I just think Taylor, I mean, I will say he had way more chemistry with her. And so to me, that does make sense. But I hated seeing Olandria be embarrassed twice. It really upset me at him. Well, we've got all new couples now. We sent home Coco, which I was devastated about because she's stunning. And I think she has a great personality. We sent home Vanna, which I saw coming, Zach, and JD. So they are all off the island now. And Olandria and Elan are in danger. They're single and vulnerable. So Sunday will be interesting. I'm so curious to see when we're going to vote again, like America's vote, how that's going to come into it. I need Huda off my screen. I know that's awful. I'm just so sick of her. Her reactions to everything annoy me.
Well, it's always a Sunday night, I think. I think it's always a Sunday night vote, right?
I don't remember.
Okay.
We are new to Love Island. We've watched almost every other franchise. We watched Love Island last year. I'm about to binge the Love Island UK for this season. So forgive us for not being the experts that you maybe need, but we're giving you our novice takes on this.
We're jumping in.
We're jumping in both feet, baby. But I'm excited about that. I'm done with her. She's like getting on my nerves. Like, the response to Taylor, I knew everybody was going to be upset when he picked Clark. Amaya was funny because she's like, Taylor, Tay, what? But then Huda's got to say some like obnoxious comment. And Amaya's really is like, wait, what? Like, she was confused. And Huda always, if anyone else is getting attention or doing anything, she's got to yell or cry or scream and make it a show about her. And I'm like, show me less of her on my screen. I'm begging you to see less of her.
I'm done with her. I don't think that this is her year. I don't think this is going to be where she finds love. I don't think there's anybody left in the villa. I don't think it's there for her. I honestly don't think it's there for Amaya either. I just I don't think this guy is the right fit for her. I'm worried for all of them.
Oh no, I still have hope for Amaya.
I love Amaya. This is not against Amaya.
No, I know, and I hear you.
Okay.
I don't think Huda's going to find someone who wants to be with her long term. That she needs to do a lot of work on herself before she tries to get into a relationship, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
She has got to figure out how to have relationships with people that are not all about her. And until then, she's going to be Hurricane Huda. Like, it's not going to work. That's real toxic. So I'm glad Pepe kind of bounced back. I really loved him with Hannah, but Grayson kind of looks like Hannah.
Yeah, he's got a type.
Yeah, he does have a type, and they seem to be vibing. I feel like Pepe doesn't get a lot of attention on the show because he's so chill, but he is like pretty smooth. Like, I didn't find him very attractive at first glance when he came in as a bombshell, but he really has grown on me as I watched him.
And he's mature, or at least more mature than the other guys when it comes to just knowing how to talk with women and interact with people on a basis.
Yeah. All I need Ace gone and I need Huda gone. And it's going to take a long time.
Ace is not going to be gone. Ace is not going to be gone. Ace.
Well, he's not going to win. That I do believe. I don't believe people at this point. Is there a couple that you? I think Nic and Sierra, if they stick it out, can win.
If they stick it out, they've won. If they stick it out together, they've won. If they split up, it's going to be rough.
Yeah, if it comes down to Ace and Shelly and Nic and Sierra all day, every day, like, for sure. I don't think there's nobody that really wants to see Ace win. Like, he has done too much damage and been like the king of the castle there.
King
Ew.
in the castle. King in the castle.
Ugh, I just find him so annoying. So we'll see.
Well, let's talk to the
Austin off my screen too.
Don't talk about my boy Austin.
He can go home.
Okay.
Go home to Florida and be a pool boy.
All right. So let's talk to the community for a minute here. Let's talk to them about what we need them to do, how we need them to help us out.
Okay, so if you're listening to the sound of my voice right now, I need you to make sure you're following us on all social media. And I really, really need you to share our content and get other people to follow us. We want to get a decent following. We do have BravoCon tickets, and we want to be taken seriously and try to get some interviews with some Bravo Lebs. And we are also doing live events. So
yes,
we are planning on doing a live event at a bar in Manhattan for the finale of Love Island. We've already got it in the works. We're waiting for them to give concrete notice of what day that is. And we absolutely want you to come if you can. We're going to do games. We're going to try to do some get to know you, see if we can make some love connections, a raffle.
Absolutely.
So please, 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 please support us online so that we can go out and meet people in real life and take our love for reality TV and create community.
Yep. And so we're excited for that. And the best way to find all of our links to follow us online is to go to popsnitch.com, where you can find our links to everything. And just to let you know, we are on YouTube with the full episodes video for everybody to watch. So if you haven't done that
yet. And I put on
yet,
makeup, so go watch it.
Yeah. So if you haven't done that, go and check us out on YouTube. But until next time, this has been Pop Snitch.
We love you. Bye.